There must be a full moon or Mercury in retrograde. I'm getting all sorts of just idiotic comments. I just did one about this lady didn't like this clip in this video I used, and I went on about that. And I am going through my comments waiting for that video to upload. And then I get this comment. You think silver, $1,000 silver is in the realm of possibility? Yeah, okay. Not sure anybody believes that. But at least say $100, a number that's still somewhat unlikely, but nowhere near as ridiculous as 1,000. So I said, whatever, dude. Silver went to 50 in 1980 when the global debt was only $10 trillion. Now it is over $247 trillion of global debt. That's 24 times more global debt in the world than it was back in 1980. 24.7 times 50 is $1,235 silver. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Oh, and let's also know that in 1980, there was only 5 billion ounces of silver above ground. Now there is as little as 1 to 2 billion ounces of silver. So between 1 and half the amount of silver that's available out there. Oh, and back in 1980, the only major silver consumption was in camera film. Now it is vital in solar power, electronics, the military-industrial complex, electric cars, medical devices, clothing, and silver is now the second most versatile commodity in the world next to oil. So do me a favor, don't buy silver. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. If you happen to buy silver, and if it happened to go to the ridiculous number of $100, be sure to sell it then. I see the biggest picture, and I'll wait. So this is what I deal with on a daily basis. I know, and I ask for it. I mean, I wouldn't, if I got hurt or, I got upset about these things and got to the point where I'm like, oh God, people don't like what I'm saying, I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, I talk about the most controversial things and positions that are not even popular in the conspiracy community. Like, I can't think of anybody out there that basically thinks about the same things the way that I do. I don't have like this little cabal of friends that we're all like pumping the same old bullshit. No, I think everybody's nuts out there. I liked it when the truth community was about 9/11 truth, and the Fed, constitutional rights, and truth. And now, I don't know, 5 years later, it's been warped into this crypto bullshit, Trump worshiping, bootlicking, fiat asset world I don't even know. Like, I find it amazing that somehow I'm still doing what I'm doing. But one thing you can always count on me is I'm going to bring the best logic and the most passion to the things that I think are important. I didn't happen to get into silver because I was selling silver. No. I got into silver because I was very wealthy, making debt money in a family business in a very comfortable life. I took a hard critical look at a very good life and said, yeah, this isn't going to last forever. I sold my house at the top of the housing bubble in 2005, at the very top, like that month, and went all out. And I was like, okay, if I get out of the housing because cheap debt created a huge asset bubble, what else could I get into? And I looked at stocks and bonds and, even getting a different house or whatever. And I realized like everything else is a digital illusion of wealth tied to this unsustainable Ponzi scheme. So I got out of my house with a 7-month pregnant wife, by the way, and bought physical silver. I literally bet the house on silver back in 2005. Then I spent the next 3 years of my life trying to convince my friends, my family, my partners, who were even far more exposed to this. They were riding way higher on the hog than I was. That the sun wasn't going to shine forever. Let's not be exposed to the downturn that inevitably must come when rates are rising on all this debt that pumped up all these real estate assets and stocks and consumption of sales and all that other stuff. Let's not be there. And I watched my friends and my family who didn't listen to me suffer through it. And now here we are again, 10 years later, and it's the exact same things. Rising interest rates, a bubble, not in stocks, not in housing, but everything. Everything is in the bubble. Stocks, housing, bonds, art market, crypto market, you name it. It's in a bubble, except for silver. So literally, and it's not just the United States. Like I told people, I watched my Truth About the Hunt Brothers video I just released 2 weeks ago. Back then, 1980, it was only a few billionaires, 2 billionaires, 5 billionaires, the whole Hunt family, buying Just enough money to cover. I mean, it wasn't everything that they owned. They owned football teams, oil rig platforms, whatever. Just a few guys buying into that caused silver to go up to $50 back then. Now we have, and that was just, the United States and Western Europeans, because the rest of the world was communist or third world. Like, they didn't participate in it. Now we have a global generational debt-based fiat Ponzi scheme that's literally quadrillions of dollars. And then you have the ability of these central banks to print trillions of dollars out of nowhere. That they already proved that in 2008. And they're going to do it again. The next time that there's a financial crisis, they're going to print more money. And this time, it's not going to be relegated to, reliquefying the banks. It's going to spill over because no country is going to trust anybody else's currency. Dollars and yuan and euros are going to chase after what is real, not future claims on wealth. That's what fiat money is, a future claim on wealth. If you have $1 million in the bank account, it may buy a nice house, a nice car, a nice this for cash. But if they start printing trillions of dollars and that $1 million, like they see in Venezuela, goes to nothing, your future promise is worth nothing. All the work and effort and savings and taxes that you paid to accumulate that $1 million instantly can become worthless. Look no further than Venezuela. Look no further than Argentina. Look no further than Turkey or Iran. Or what happened in Weimar, Germany. It will happen. It's the inevitable end of what happens when you have a fiat Ponzi scheme. So the idea that $1,000 silver is ridiculous, it's not. They have millions of Bolivar silver in Venezuela right now. The fact that you're measuring your real wealth in dollars is the problem. They can continue to print all this until it's absolutely worthless.
The United States can pay any debt it has because we can always print money to do that. So there is zero probability of default.
That basically moves cash around. And we can guarantee cash benefits as far out and at whatever size you like, but we cannot guarantee their purchasing power.
Silver is just a reflection of the depreciation of the currency, of what it can buy. And I don't even think I would sell at $1,000 silver. Because if it got that bad, it's going to $10,000 silver, $1 million silver, until the point where you saw at the end of the Soviet Union that they start throwing rubles on the ground because it's worthless. That's the end of fiat money. And if you're attached to the system, if you have digits that you're relying on that you think are going to save you for the day, you're nuts. Get out of all digital illusions of wealth and start measuring your wealth in real, tangible things. People go, don't buy silver, pay off your debts. No. Currency crises benefit one of two actors, two of the four actors in that. People who have real assets, like silver, like gold, like oil, like anything that's real, food, guns, they benefit those because the real things go up in value as the currency depreciates. The other people that benefit from this are people who have debt. So if you have a mortgage and the currency depreciates to nothing, the debt depreciates to nothing. What it does not benefit, the two actors it does not benefit, are people who have zero debt, because then they don't get relieved of it, and people who don't have real assets. Those are the people that get hurt. So this is what I did. I have a mortgage on my house. I could have paid it off many times over, but I don't. Because I'd rather stack the real assets, like silver, and be able to move those assets whenever I want to. If the house becomes worthless, let the bank take it back. If the local governments tax it too much, let them put a tax lien on it. I'm going to withdraw my physical silver and move wherever the hell I want, wherever it's appreciated most, wherever I get the best deal. That's where I'm going. And then I'll exchange my real physical silver for land that government has reclaimed from other people that they just want real money for to start kicking up the economy. I'll buy stocks that have been decimated. The idea that you would buy a stock with 100 PE in this paradigm is nuts. Things are never going to get any better than it is right now. We just got out of 8 years of 0% interest rates. We have the longest economic cycle. We haven't had any major world wars that go on. No trade wars that have been going on. We have maximum consumption of some of the largest generations this country's ever seen. This won't last forever, folks. Wake up, get silver.